I'm back, it's Floss, it's season 6, episode 2 of the Offspring recap because you guys were asking me to do it, and I'm angry. I'm very angry! Okay, so this episode was pre-promoted as the Leo and Nina, what happened, why had they broken up, why was he leaving kind of thing. They got 3, maybe 4 key scenes, and they were not great. In fact, they were bad. And not bad because they were badly acted or the ideas behind them were, well, the ideas behind them were bad. Okay, so obviously I'm not sure if Patrick Brammall, who is coming back or not, he's fantastic. I love him in a lot of stuff he does. The ABC Ghost show, I can't remember, what's the zombie show? That show that's really good. He's so beautifully nuanced in that. And he hits his notes perfectly in terms of acting choices and empathetic moments and heartbreak and whatnot. And he did it again tonight even. And Ashiketti, brilliant, fantastic, all great. But the show took us tonally all over the map tonight. And what they were trying to do was clearly clear the decks of some of the storytelling that they hadn't set up. This is because I have found out, and I didn't know this, that the season, that the producers or the creators and the key scripters for the series aren't back this year. It's a bit of a new group. I'm not sure how much change has gone behind the scenes, but a bit from what I understand. I can tell. I can really tell. It's so frustrating. So what is annoying me right now is that Offspring was always a show for me that jarred a little bit tonally in that it would be hilariously zany, wackadoodle funny one minute and then incredibly bittersweet, heartbreaking sadness the next. But generally because of a tight script and some breathing space to get to those moments for the episode, you could go with it. Tonight though, it was literally, I don't know if it was even the scoring choices, but it was all over the shop. And so we get to the part where, don't worry about the Geraldine stuff. Geraldine dominated the first 20 minutes of the episode because she had to confront the lady who had the illegitimate baby, which again, no one seems to be acknowledges the massive continuity error of the fact that Nina is not Darcy's child. So she also had illegitimate child and affair and didn't tell anyone for years. So fuck off, Geraldine, is what I have to say to you. Fuck right off. Swearing time. Probably should have pre-warned on that one. I have got no time for Geraldine and her crap, and that list of questions that she had to ask the woman that Nina asked, that's where it lost me, because no human being would have literally said in front of their mother to their mother's ex-husband's affair person, did you have an orgasm? Like, what kind of ridiculous attempted humour is that? Get out! Then the Leo situation. So we don't know what happened with Leo. When we last left Leo and Nina at the end of season 5, he had confessed he was in love with her. She had confessed that she wanted to give it a go after a couple of bad relationships prior, and obviously Patrick's death prior to that. We were left with that. We never got to see them fully together besides one kiss and a happy group proudness photo at the end, really. So everybody was a little bit excited because it was going to be a different relationship to the relationship that we'd seen with Patrick and even Chris, where they were a bit more matched in a way, in that their awkwardness and their kind of, anxiety kind of stuff was very similar. And so I think people were excited to see that as a different relationship to what we'd seen Nina with previously. We saw none of it. We come back to season 6 and they're not together, and we're not explained in the first episode, which I'm okay with. And then it unravels, and we find out in season 2, it unraveled because Nina wasn't as in love with him as he was with her, which was fine. It was something I could understand. But we kind of just, that happened in 15 minutes. We weren't given a chance to breathe with that. The flashback we got to their breakup was a stupid attempt at he said, she said, which neither worked for me. One was over the top comedic, hey, wow, we're broken up, yes. And then the other was from Leo's remembrance of, oh my god, I'm weeping, I'm crying, it's terrible, blah, blah, blah. Of course, somewhere in the middle was the truth, but I would have actually liked to have seen that. A discussion about the power balance of that relationship. Nina's never been the person to be less in love with someone. She's always the desperate clinger. So I would have almost not liked to see it, but I don't want to see Leo in pain, but I would have liked to have seen that relationship unravel a bit more naturally, as opposed to this rah, gag. And then we have the argument. Now the argument itself, I didn't necessarily have problems with, in the sense that there was a few points that Leo brought up about the fact that Nina was still very much in love with Patrick, but also the idea of Patrick, what their relationship was. That was okay. And yes, he said some harsh things, or people say harsh things in a fight. I get that. That's fine for me. what was annoying to me was that it kind of came out of nowhere. Like he came into her office and it was the first real conversation they actually had in the entire season, and bam, it was just blah. And then, I just was so mystified by it because, yeah. And then what I found annoying too later on was towards the end of the episode, Nina questions herself about it. And I understand why she would, but then I understand why she didn't. I don't understand why. Like, Patrick and Nina were not a great couple in a lot of ways. Their relationship was incredibly on-off. They had a lot of trouble communicating, sometimes due to the script and not necessarily the actual relationship. But it wasn't like they were this amazingly fantastical couple all the time that never questioned their love for each other. Like, they broke up and only got together kind of just before she found out she was pregnant. Like, it wasn't smooth sailing a go-go. So Nina could have very well said back to him, hey, bucko, step on back. That fight for me could have been earned more. It just didn't feel earned yet. I know that it was almost like someone had this great scene, but if we'd had it maybe 4 episodes down the track, I would have been on board for it. And then we have at the end this lovely almost farewell, but it just kind of was like a, hey, I like you and you like me, but not enough as I like you. Cheers. And I think for me, what I'm noticing this season is the nuance of the script is gone in terms of, I still really remember the conversation that Nina has with her ex-husband, the fire starter, whatever his name was, about Patrick dying. Was it about Patrick? Yeah, in season 5 or something. And it's this bittersweet moment where the husband has come in, ex-husband has come in with his new wife and they're having a baby and there's a bit of medical complications. And they just had this incredibly beautiful conversation that both of them just kind of compare their shitness to each other. And it's just this, I don't know, it was so well done. And there was a few moments like that throughout the seasons past. And this was that moment for the show to hit it in terms of, there was a couple of moments tonight where the scripting could have been tighter and it couldn't have been, it was just cliched in a way. It was just crap. And then he left. Like Leo, this character that we've kind of invested in and invested in him to get to Nina was I guess the key, is gone, it seems. And I'm sorry, but the guy that they're all like, he's such a flirt, he's not flirting, he's talking to them like he's a primary school teacher. And he's all like, I think you deserve a lolly, like, and you should be smiling. Gross. That's not flirting. And like, they're all like, he's been with everyone and everything and done. I'm like, why? And who? And how? No. So, in short, Offspring, shaky ground. In fact, I don't even know if I'm going to watch next week. I was disappointed with tonight. I'm disappointed with the Jimmy storyline, the Taqueria, because Cherie, you're a nurse. You are not earning big bucks, and you've got a kid to look after. And I don't think those Brackmans, besides Nina, are rolling in the dough. So I would be asking for a little bit of money. And I don't know what they were trying to foreshadow with Will and Jimmy, and Will's kind of really snappy judgment about he didn't want to be involved in the co-thing of the Taqueria. I don't know if there's something in that, or that was just a weird directing/acting choice. Either way, I was not impressed. So yeah, generally Offspring season 6, I told you, you start off well, and I don't know, I'm not impressed. Were you not impressed? Tell me what you're thinking. Hit the comments below. As you can see from my tone, rah.